Hey, this is Chris. How you doing? Got a religious theme video for you. If you don't like Christianity, feel free to turn it off. But keeping it real, let's keep it real with these churches. Look, I'm a Christian. My wife's a Christian. Kids, 3 out of 4 are Christians. It really disturbs me to see Christians violating the governor's order to stay at home unless it's absolutely necessary. And let me tell you why, and it's not a very complicated argument. Romans 13, 1 through 6, Paul's letter to the Romans, clearly says that we are to be subject to civil authority. Now, I don't have the verses in front of me. I haven't memorized them, but I know what they say. He says God has put those rulers in place, and it's for our good that those rulers are put in place. It doesn't matter if they're good rulers, bad rulers, whatever. In the providence of God, God has allowed, I actually like the word placed better. He has placed these people in authority, and we are supposed to listen to them, and we are supposed to do what they tell us. And so when the governor says, I don't care, I don't like the governor. I think he's the worst governor the state has just about ever had. He was a terrible attorney general. But he's still the governor, and when he says, look, we're facing this crisis, and I'm going to order that unless you need to be out for a specific reason, that it's for the public good that you don't go out. And I realize I'm violating that order right now, but I'm violating it all by myself. So does that make it any better? No, it doesn't. I'm still technically, actually morally wrong. So I understand that. I'm willing to violate that order for a couple more days to make sure I have enough money to get through the next month of doing nothing. So the economic, and I'm not exposing anybody to anything, and I'm not exposing myself to anything. So that has a lot to do with it too. But when these churches flout civil authority, you're bringing shame upon the name of Jesus Christ. I mean, that's just all you're doing. I mean, you say, well, we gotta proclaim the gospel, or whatever reason, whatever rationale you come up with. It doesn't change the fact that you're not supposed to be congregating together. Don't you understand the risk that you are putting yourselves to, the risk that you are putting your congregation to, the risk you're putting every single person that member of that congregation is going to come in contact with over the next 2 weeks at least. And if they get sick, even longer. And all because, you think you have some kind of right to flout civil authority. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. I've just had a conscience attack. I have, really. Yeah. So that's, God uses events to turn your attention back to Him, and I hope this turns your attention back to Him, because you want to hear a sermon, go to the internet and find one. I'm sure most churches. I mean, if a little Sovereign Grace church in Newcastle, Indiana, can find a way to stream a sermon, and they've only got like 15 or 20 members, and they don't have any money really, then I think your big mega church can probably handle it too. And if the pastor's worried about not getting his check this week, well, I guess you can just PayPal him some funds, all right? I mean, if that's what it's all about, which I think it is in most churches anyway. But that's neither here nor there, except it's true. I hope if you're going to a church and you think you're doing God's work or you think you're fulfilling God's command to gather together, it doesn't trump. Not in this instance, it doesn't. This is not an immoral order. This is about doing what's best under a very trying circumstance. There's other better places for civil disobedience. This is not the time or place, because you are, like I said, you are potentially infecting tens of other people. all by yourself, just by being this irresponsible and this disobedient. All right, the sermon now ends. Have any questions or comments on this? Please leave them in the section below. Like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. See you on the